Good morning. Thank you for joining us for our Yan Konko Raijin Sumamati service. Reverend Yasuhiro Yano will be officiating and I will be helping Edna Sensei. Please join us in prayer. Mediation Prayer, page 2. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Yami Konko Daiji, sincerely and wholeheartedly each and every day. May we receive the mediation with all our hearts and souls on this day and very moment. Yami Konko Daiji Sama, Yami Konko Daiji Sama, Yami Konko Daiji Sama, Yami Konko Daiji Sama. Purification Prayer. Through the way of mediation, we are sincere apologies, we are acceptable to you, our divine parents. We acknowledge our mistakes and misunderstandings, arrogance and ignorance of your divine favor. We apologize for all our shortcomings and irreverences from past generations. Guide us to amend our way of living to reflect your divine will with a pure, joyful, and loving heart, always one with you. Kami Prayer. Reverently we pray. The religions of heaven and riches of earth, kind those without seed, fierce clouds without end. In heaven and earth, the life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth, it is truth that borders all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous works, let us praise Tenchi Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings, this is the way. Yet many not knowing the way are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortune, greatest Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Konko Daiji, suffered many trials in this world, but held fast to faith and sincerity. Received Kami's great blessing and began the life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The divine parent's great wish was fulfilled. Konko Daiji accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth, and he knew not the coming of night. By night he prayed for those who grieved, seeking salvation for all who suffered, and he knew not the dawning of day. Though years passed and the world changed, he did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation.
revelation.
Thus was
given the sacred Tenshiko guiding principle for our daily life. The divine favor was thus renewed, and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Konko Daijin. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way, through all the hardships of this world, to gain a body and soul. The way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to Kami, without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far. The way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of thy favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledgment of our ways. Let us divide victory today, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain, and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost, and awaken them to life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us, we are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray, so we earnestly pray.
Please bow your heads and pray.
Sage prayer for monthly service for Vigilant Konko Daiji. Vigilant Konko Daiji is a life of Kenji Kaino Kami. On behalf of the Konko Mission Wahiawa, Tasi Hiroyama, state the following prayer. We gather here today for the monthly service to find Vigilant Konko Daiji on this day, August 30, 2023. Through this service, we extend our sincere gratitude and acknowledgement of divine work, contributions, and professional presence in Konko Daiji through cultivation of the well-being of all entire humanity through the divine rule of Kenji Kaino Kami, the life force. We solely acknowledge the divine good of the life force Kenji Kaino Kami revealed to humanity in 1873. Kenji Kaino Kami stated, although people live between heaven and earth, they are nowhere Kami's blessings, shrines, temples, and houses, all stand on Kami's land. Without reverence, people consult religions and disrespect to Kami. They suffer hardship due to the offenses. Kenji Kaino Kami, as an Vigilant Konko Daiji, the provisions and teachings so that mankind may prosper. Kami is Kami because of man. The man is man because of Kami. Both are fulfilled through this mutual relationship. Through the found the Vigilant Konko Daiji, we have become enlightened to eat a blessing of life for Kenji Kaino Kami, and now we enjoy blessing all aspects of life. To extend our deep appreciation for the work of mediation, the well-being of humanity, and a peaceful world. This divine function has been kept by the spiritual head of the Konko organization in the last 164 years. This year marks 209th anniversary of the founder of Konko organization, and also marks the 140th year since its departure. We extend our prayers in appreciation for the professional services of church mediation by the sixth spiritual head, Reverend Hiromichi Konko. We pray for his good health and continued services. We also extend our thanks to the ministers who have dedicated their life to spreading the Konko faith at many places throughout the world. The Prime Minister of this church, the late Reverend Haruto Takahashi, was initiated in Konko province and evolved to become Konko minister through the truth mediation of the Reverend Masayuki Kikikoda, the Konko mission of Konko, and dedicated her intermissionary work in Wahiawa for 32 years since 1940. We extend our deep appreciation and heartfelt gratitude for enabling us to perpetuate the operation of this church in the last 83 years. They include the divine guidance and arrangements, as well as the support and help of the people who have ever established relationships to this church, in help of all become speak that the Confirmation Wahiawa has come thus far. We sincerely ask the life of Echikai no Kami, Ikai Konko Rising, and become speak to continue to help and guide us in pursuit of the faith and further expansion of the concept of faith and the equal life. We have been trying to be mindful of any elements of blessing in each kind of family and trying to respond in accurately appreciation of blessing which we make it for granted, whether it is the water we use, the food we enjoy, the air we breathe, the land we live on, the natural resources we use to drink, the job we have, the family we appreciate, and all our normal body function and abilities, all elements of life are possible through the grace and love of life authentic kind of kind. Thank you for the blessings we have been enjoyed in our personal and social life. We try to actualize the teaching of the life authentic kind of kind. Please accept our prayers here today, and many offerings, services in forms, and prayers forward to you as tokens of our appreciation and deep felt gratitude for the blessings received. As we remind ourselves that Ikai Konko lies there to help us and aid us and guide us to be able to deal with any encounter in life. Thank you for your extended prayer. When the people of the world pray to Ikai Konko life with a sincere and single heart, please fulfill whatever request they have. Please forgive our negligence and ignorance for the vastness of blessing we may fail to recognize and appreciate. The errors and offenses we might have committed during the unknowing. Please help us to reform our hearts to be like with the heart of the life authentic kind of heart. We also pray that the world peace and harmony will prevail through our acknowledgement of the divine message that states, no one is aware of the blessings of heaven and earth, which enable people to live. Come shall the people become aware of the blessing of heaven and earth, and the Konko rising born throughout the world, with sunshine in every country without exception. We continue to extend our prayers for places throughout the world that have been experiencing hardship due to natural disaster, crime, poverty, famine, concurrence, pollution, and other areas. We especially extend our prayers for the vital spirit of the people who have lost their lives being involved in the unprecedented devastation fire that destroyed the whole town of Lahaina on the island of Maui on August 8, 2023. We pray that the Big White people will be able to cope with the situation and continue to keep on sustaining their lives. Dear life force, please allow us to be of service to you in helping others as an utmost expression of thanks for the blessings we have been able to enjoy. We pray that the Spirit service is good Almighty and all.
기도 하이리. Recitation of Tenji Kakitsuke, page 6.
気神根高大日金の神死に願いおかげは我が心にあり今日今日で頼み Praise sincerely with all your heart before coming to come Kami blessings begin within hearts grateful and carrying harmony and joy Look to Kami always now and forever on this very day pray 闇根高大日金の神死に願いおかげは我が心にあり今日今日で頼み Praise sincerely with all your heart before coming to come Kami's blessings begin within hearts grateful and carrying harmony and joy Look to Kami always now and forever on this very day pray
Adoration prayer. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow in this prayer toward our divinity, living and ancestors of Kami's victory, of happy and fulfilled. Illumination of the Konko Daiji does not stop for us to live. The protection of the divine current embraces all far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow collecting all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and fervently, we praise the worship of Kami beyond the power of Kami. Shintoku Sangiji, page 29.
おぎえまつれば天高く
仰ぎますれば天高く愚がみますれば主は厚し神の恵みに生かさるるびの幸いぞありがたき我が生き神の本取りすぎりと日もかぶる時のなく天地の神の御守りとは短きの隔てなし神に尽くしみはよろずよにあまねく満ちて果てしなく万働いはくすしくて人の思いぞ呼ばだる我ら今月今日やび祭りてひたすらに神の御影をたたえますらん神の慰霊を仰ぎますらん喜怒哀礼喜怒哀礼 Mitama prayer, page 12. Spirits of those who have gone before us, your living with your in this vast and discharge the duties faithfully, each according to your family years. You will remember each family, your lives do go from generation to generation. Honor as the foundation of our society and the root of our families. Through the Spirit's workings of Kami, you enter the Konko faith. You walk the way of Konko Daijin, respecting the will of the divine parent. Your master inherited your faith to take it to the world beyond and lead your descendants. Our gratitude is boundless for your loving favors. We revere you as ancestral spirits of our homes, our divine spirits. We beseech you stand by us, each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we may down all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. 喜怒哀乐 立教神殿この平切り境に声拝さしと見るからその分に承知してくれ外家業いたし農業で人が願いで呼びに来戻り願いが済みまた農へでまたも呼びに来農業する間もなし来た人も待ち両方の差し支えに相なるなんと家業をやめてくれぬかその方42歳の年に病気でしも手を離し心配いたし神仏に願いおかげで全開いたしその時死んだと思うて欲を離して天地神の神を助けてくれ家内もご気になったと思ってくれご気よりましょに物を言われ相談もなり子供を連れてぼとぼと納期をしよってくれこの方のように実に丁寧神信心いたしおる事故が世間に何本難儀なお事故ありおい次助けてやってくれ神も助かり氏子も立ち行く氏子あっての神神あっての氏子繁盛いたしせいぜい親にかかり子にかかり愛をかけようで立ち行く 70. Divine message received on November 15, 1859. With the completion of this sacred staff, I will end your farming career. Please understand, when you are out farming, the person at home has to go out and call you whenever someone comes to give a request. And after you delay the request, you have to go back out again. You have to keep going in and out of the field. This gives you little time for farming, and the worshiper must also wait for you. Both you and the worshiper are being inconvenienced. Won't you stop farming? When you're a great ill at 42, the doctor gave up hope. Everyone worried about you. You prayed to the Kamis and Buddhas and were blessed with complete recovery. Regard this event as your death. To dispel all desires, resist Hinchi Kani. Also, your wife should consider herself a widow. It is better than being a real widow, as she can still talk to you and discuss matters. She should take the children with her to do farm work. There are many people like yourself who have sincere faith in Kamis but still have many problems. Help these people by performing mediation. This will help Kami and save people. People exist because of Kami, and Kami exists because of people. Thus, Kami supports people as Kami's children, and people support Kami as their parent. There will be eternal prosperity through Ayokakeo, mutual interdependence. This also reads the Konko Faith Our Creed, page 73. We believe in Tenchi Kane no Kami, the divine parent of the universe. Our founder Konko Daishin embraced Kami's revelations and as divine mediator answered the call to eternal mediation. Our continuing goal from moment to moment is to realize Kami within each of us. We are fulfilled through Kami. Kami is fulfilled through us. The happiness of everyone is Kami's greatest wish. We give thanks for Kami's blessings, mysterious, wondrous, and mundane. Blessings begin with our own hearts filled with harmony and joy. We pray wholeheartedly to Kami today and every day, trusting Kami as our loving parent, finding peace of mind. We live our faith and service to Kami, each other, and our world, nurturing and nurtured, mutually fulfilled. We fear those who have gone before us. Spirits one with Kami, caring for us eternally. We respect and appreciate other paths taken by humanity towards spiritual fulfillment. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today on this Sunday in appreciation of Kami-sama's blessings and our founder, Gianni Konko Daikon-sama. Again, Konko Daisama's monthly service is today. I know we are all with a heavy heart with what's happened to Maui and Lahaina. The whole town has been leveled. It looks like a war zone, and we've seen so many pictures and video footage of Lahaina, and it's just the most devastating thing I've seen that's so close to us, you know? We've seen it on the mainland. We've seen like whole entire towns like gone in Japan during that great tsunami. And we're shocked, very much shocked. But when it's so close in proximity and you know people who have actually been affected by this, the shock is greater. Much greater. And I've been looking at the news so much so that it's like, oh wow, it's like really affecting my body, you know, it's making my stomach hurt due to worrying so much, being so concerned and shocked about this whole situation. So as you all know that a great big wildfire started in Maui, West Maui, on Tuesday, August 8th, and literally it just burned beautiful Lahaina town. Have any of you been to Lahaina before? Anybody? Yeah, I've been there a couple times. I think we've been there last in 2017. Me and Clayton, we've been there, and they had a wonderful pizza shop that we will miss. It also burned down. Many places. It's just devastating and shocking. So out of last night's count, 93 people have been confirmed dead, and it's likely going to rise even more. they say that the cadaver dogs have only sniffed out 3% of Lahaina. So you can imagine how many more people might come out of this destruction. 2,200 structures have been destroyed completely or damaged, and hundreds are still missing. Thousands have been displaced and are living in shelters now. It's like overnight, can you imagine? Overnight, what you had, everything you worked for, it's just gone the next morning, and for some people, their loved ones are gone too. So to even have a life is a great blessing, but to lose all that, it must have been such a shock to all those people. So our prayers and thoughts go out to them. So we flew to Maui this past June, in mid-June, to celebrate the Wahiawa Church's 60th anniversary celebration. And it was just 7 weeks ago that we went to Maui, and this happens. And some of the church family actually have been affected by this fire. They lost their home. And also the church members, several church members' family have lost their homes. So I think there's about 10 people who are at the Wahiawa Church currently, and they are being it's a shelter now. The Wahiawa Church is serving as a shelter to these people who have lost their homes. The cause of the fire is they're still investigating. They're not known, but it was definitely fueled by Hurricane Dora's strong winds. And that Tuesday, last week Tuesday, as you probably all knew, like how strong the winds were. It was like hurricane strength. Sometimes these gusts were like 70 miles per hour. And it felt like the hurricane was here already, but it was actually 500 miles south of the island. It was so far away. And I knew a hurricane was coming towards the island, but I was like, I looked at the news so often in a day, you know. And I was like, okay, how close is it to the islands? And it was so far away, I wasn't even concerned. I was like, oh yes, we dodged another bullet. And people weren't really worried about this. No one was. I don't think people in Lahaina were worried about this either. But not knowing how much damage it brought with the winds and the fueling of the fire, oh my goodness. They said it went from 0 to 100 like immediately. They didn't have enough time to run. Some people were just stuck in their cars. Some people, they passed away in their cars. It's crazy. Some people had to jump into the water of the harbor. Lots of people actually. And stay in the water for several hours, like 8 hours, until the Coast Guard rescued them. Never seen anything like this in my entire life. And on Wednesday, I was at the dentist, and I didn't even know about the situation in Maui yet. I was in the dentist having my teeth cleaned, and the dentist was like, oh yeah, this morning before I came, he said, my friend texted me from Maui, and he showed me what's going on in Lahaina. And I said, what's going on? He's like, the fire. It's like it just leveled the entire town of Lahaina. And I was like, what? Like I knew there was a wildfire going on, but you know, it's something that we usually don't worry that much about because it's like wildfires happen all the time in Hawaii. It's like when it's summertime, it's so dry that wildfires, they pop up in Waipio, in Mililani, in the North Shore, in Waianae area, but it's like, you know, it's not something that I always be careful about, but, and you know, I heard that, hey, there's a fire in Maui, it's like, oh, it's probably one of those regular fires that we have every year, not realizing how much destruction it had caused. And when I looked at the news, indeed, like helicopter footage showed, like, the whole entire town was wiped out. And there's really no words to explain how shocked I am, and everybody else too. And I read an article in a newspaper that said that some people are starting to lose their faith in God. And I wouldn't blame them. Yet, if you have practiced faith for many, many, many years, this is a time when our faith will really be tested in devastating times. That is when our faith becomes tested. Because we never know what's going to happen out there. My mom always says every day is Russian roulette, and it's true. We don't know when we're going to go or when we're ever going to lose our things, that we work so hard for. So in Konko Kyo, it's not like, oh, if you practice the faith, your whole life is going to be safe. You won't encounter any devastation. No, that's not true. Even if you practice faith, you will still encounter misfortune. You will still encounter loss, injuries, illnesses. But if you practice the Konko faith, this is how much I can say. If you practice in the Konko faith, you will still be able to stand back up again and somehow accept it all as a divine blessing. Well, not immediately, maybe not immediately, but in the future, you'll be able to look back and say, although this has caused such devastation, but still be able to get back up again and still count your blessings. I want to say a teaching over here. Korikai number 2, Yamamoto Sadajiro, 238 in this Voice of the Universe. People may practice faith, but their situations won't turn out the same. You should know that all the 30 or 50-year-old trees aren't the same. There are people who don't practice faith but become rich. And there are those who do practice faith but don't get rich. Even when growing rice and barley, some rice grains turn out white and some barley spikes turn out black. Thus, all things do not turn out the same. You must practice faith with a broad mind. Here's another teaching I wanted to share. If you practice faith in Kami, you will become close to Kami. Kami will then bestow divine blessings and turn major misfortunes into minor ones and will take away the minor mishaps. Those who say that they practice faith but are still in hard times do not yet know the virtue of Kami. You should realize that misfortunes cannot be fully understood by man. Even among devout believers, there are some people who stop practicing faith because they experience great misfortunes. They cut the roots of their faith instead of practicing faith to receive divine blessings that can cut the roots of their misfortunes. This is because they do not realize the true virtue of Kami. When people practice faith, they should know the true virtue of Kami. Gorekai 3, Jinkyu Kyogoroku. When people lose things or when their prayers aren't granted, like they come otoroke and they wish and pray for something and it didn't come out the way they wanted it, or their prayers didn't come true. They say, this faith, it doesn't grant my wishes. Well, let me tell you this. Kami-sama is not no genie in a bottle. Kami-sama is not there to grant all your wishes. Kami-sama is there to broaden your heart, that vessel in your heart, to accept things as divine blessings. We are receiving so many divine blessings. Every second of our life, every heartbeat that we have is considered a divine blessing. Yet if you still don't understand Kami-sama's blessings to that level, then everything's going to seem like a misfortune. And just because some little wish that you were praying for didn't come true, you're going to think, what a phony Kami-sama. I don't believe in you anymore. But the truth is, Kami-sama has always been giving us blessings. The sun that shines, the air that we have, the water that we can drink, the food that we have, the body functions that we have on our daily basis, the family and friends that support us. Those are all divine blessings that we may be taking for granted, So we have to really recognize and appreciate what are true blessings. And if you're suffering, if you feel that you're suffering, you have still yet to discover for yourself what true blessings are from Kami-sama. Suffering stems from not realizing, not knowing Kami-sama's divine favor, not realizing the daily blessings in our lives. So let's strengthen those muscles in our heart. Practice faith daily. It's like karate, If you do karate for a very long time, if somebody just throws a punch at you randomly, you're going to be like, huh! You're going to be able to block that. Versus somebody like me who needs more practice, if a punch comes to me randomly, I'm just going to be punched and I'm going to get hurt. So it's just like that, where faith is really there to strengthen your spiritual muscles, your emotional, spiritual muscles. And we really begin to understand the importance of faith when these adversities happen. It's too late to start making a rope or handcuffs when you've already caught a robber or like a thief. It's like you would already have to have that in your hands already. You have to be prepared. We have to be prepared all the time. So we never know when our faith is going to come in handy or when our faith is going to save our hearts. So please, let's be vigilant in our practice of faith and continue to have conviction in Kami-sama. That Kami-sama will bestow blessings to you. And I guarantee you that Kami-sama will be there and you'll be able to overcome any kind of adversity. Even though it's hard at the beginning, Kami-sama didn't tell you, oh, don't grieve, oh, don't cry. And we think we need to let it all out. And that's where the Toitsu mediation desk is so helpful, to let out all that steam, all that anger, sadness, grief, and just let it out. You can't be just keeping it in. You gotta let it out so your vessel can become empty again, so you can fill it up with divine blessings and favor. So, thank you very much. Let's continue to be vigilant in our faith, and continue to pray for the people of Maui, and also help out in action in whatever ways we can. There are many charities out there, and even if you want to help out the Konko Mission of Wailuku directly, they have direct family and church members who have been affected by this fire. So please contact the Konko Missions in Hawaii, and they will be sending your money to Wailuku Kyokai. Thank you very much.
Good morning, and thank you for coming to this service. First, I'd like to offer deep condolences for the people who lost their lives. Today is estimated about over 93 or 94. The number could be going up as we search also. I called Reverend Hisayo Yasutaki at Konko Church Konko Mission Wahiawa years ago. I learned that there were some squad people, our family members of the Christian community who lost their houses in Lahaina. And the church accepted 3 families of those people. So about 14 people are living on the church property right now. The Konko Mission Hawaii established an emergency fund to respond to this situation, and all the proceeds and donations will be forwarded to Konko Mission directly, not to other agencies, because of the victim who directly affected by these wildfires. We're going to conduct a church garage sale on September 16th, and half of the proceeds will go to the fund to help the wild church, and the rest would be forward to the initial purpose of offering to go home. It said that $5.5 billion would be needed to restore the town of Lahaina. What their way could be just a drop of water in the ocean. But it would be our prayers for the people who have been devastated. The wildfire developed at Lahaina and many places in Maui is heartbreaking. How much of this devastation ever happened was my first impression. They point out that the weather condition combined hurricane, prosperity, and dry conditions of the vegetation and so forth. Some people point out they never heard of official warning of the situations. This could be one of the major elements why this tragic event ever happened. I still remember several years ago, there's a false warning of missile attacking Hawaii. And they say, this is not drill, it's real. So everybody responded, what shall it? No way we can do it. But I just went out the street, there's around, nobody was there. But if the people in Lahaina would ever had any warning, no official, they could not respond to the situation. Anyway, this is not what have been done, should not be recovered. Anyway, I hope, like any other city in Japan or in other countries, once destroyed, cities, towns could be revived, renewed by the people, the goodwill, the governmental services, help, and so forth. Some people could be temporarily homeless, but not permanent homeless people in many places in Hawaii. Difference is they have hope in rebuilding their lives. So, and they can accept many offerings given from government or any other service helping them. So they are going to revive their life again in a new state of situation. So this is my prayer for this situation. I just thought if this church has gone, nothing. we have no personal property. Everything belongs to church. We have no little saving there, but always we have. So we may have regret for the last, but For the people who have a lot of money, fortune, it could be yours in their lives. But the land, covered by wet ashes, belong to Tenchi Kanino Kamisama. This is the basic element of life. People may not be aware of this blessed nature of land. So I sometimes say even homeless people could be saying thank you for the land they live on. If they did not realize this nature of blessed nature, hurt earth, it could be very hard. But as Konko believers, I say the basic element, first step is the first step you put on the land. Is the basic of the whole existence of life. And thank you very much. Page 135, last paragraph. During this time days.
はい、お母さん。
During these final days, Konko Daijin rested using a summer blanket and was still able to use the bathroom by himself, and each time he rose to go to the bathroom, he faced the worship hall to pray. His meals were about the same portion as before, but he gradually decreased the amount he consumed. Asked by his wife why he had begun to eat less and less, Konko Daijin replied, to return to kami. According to Kura, during his time, she cooked rice gruel and roots of lilies with scrambled eggs.
On September 29, when Norio was sleeping, he heard the founder's voice saying, I have served this faith for a long time, and now Hagio should take over. Norio was surprised when he saw Konko Dajin praying while facing an ancestral altar. The next day, Norio visited Tomie Takahashi and they hurried to Otani. When they arrived, Konko Dajin was resting in the room. After Tomie went to the room and saw Konko Dajin, she said that he was resting peacefully on his back and that his face was thin.
On October 3rd, when Norio came again, Hagio told him that Konko Daijin did not require assistance following his departure from the worship hall. Hagio further stated that although he sometimes says things, when asked by mother if he needs help, my father replies that he is simply talking to Kami.
A few days before his death, Konko Daijin asked his whole family to be at his bedside and said, Asakichi is supposed to be the heir, but it is unfortunate that he cannot fulfill this role. Be thoughtful to him and support him. Hagio, be sincere. Get along with each other.
Konko Daijin passed away peacefully in his sleep on the morning of October 10, 1883, with Tose and Kura at his bedside. He was 70 years old. The night before his passing, he had awakened several times to ask what time it was, and if in anticipation, since he had told others that when the sun rises on October 10th, he would go. Looking east from Otani village, the rays of the rising sun touched Mount Akeno Kami, then the village below. When Ikigami Konko Daijin was told the sun is now shining on Mount Akeno Kami, he passed away. October 10th coincided with the Konko Daijin grand ceremony, which was indicated in Kami's revelation. His passing also fell on the 9th and 10th day of the lunar and solar calendars respectively, just as he related back in 1876. Finally, his passing came one day after completing his 100th day of faith training. Perhaps as an indication of Konko Daijin's concern for others, he left instructions that his funeral should be kept simple and held on October 13th, followed by a 50th day memorial service.
Again, Konko Daijin's family, relatives, and other involved, and those involved with the funeral arrangements apparently made no concerted effort to publicize his passing, yet this did not convert many from learning their beloved mediator had passed away. This may be attributed to Ikigami Konko Daijin's virtue. The death of faith action by many of his devotees and Kami's achievement for acknowledgement of saying both Ikigami Konko Daijin and each devotee. At the time of Ikigami Konko Daijin's passing, each of the individuals presented below received revelation and felt something within themselves regarding their mediator, who was given a sign which they determined indicated Ikigami Konko Daijin's passing.
Sojiro Saito ran from his house, home in Nishiachi, to the worship hall. It was believed he did so as a result received a divine message of the passing of Konko Daijin. 終わりましょう。
はい。どうぞ。おはようございます。Good morning。ただいまから歌を4つ歌わせていただきます。We're going to sing 4 songs. So page 57、新人の栄光からです。 Basic policy. With a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear. So with my heart, still I know even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high. For we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. When I'm down and ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high. For we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads up high. For we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。Please take care オンラインの方。
今後は来日に金の神神に願い、おかげは我が心にあり、
池上金光大臣天主金の神神に願え、おかげは心にあり、今月今日でため。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。Thank you very much for listening. Again, if you would like to help out with the Maui disaster, there are many charities out there that are forwarding their help and materials for assistance. So you can look online. But if you'd like to help out the Wailuku Church directly with their family and the church members, please contact the Konko Missions in Hawaii, or you can also contact Wahiawa Church and we'll send you information. Thank you. Have a good week. Take care.